Yo, what's good, bro? Oh, okay, y'all can hear me, man. Yo, what's good with y'all, man? Very excited to talk about the topic I have today. I came across a video today and it annoyed me. No, was it today? It was like today or yesterday. Yo, and it annoyed me so much because, you know, people love, and this is old and newer players, right? People love to just like nitpick certain facets of people's game as if it's such a hindrance on them, as if no team can ever overcome it, right? And Luka Doncic is definitely a person who gets that criticism. A bunch of people got that criticism before. You got Jokic, Steph Curry, James Harden, a bunch of people, even Magic Johnson, if we're going to be honest, if we go really way back. So I seen a video about somebody talking about Luka Doncic and his play style, holds the ball too much, over here, bad defender. They have to make up all these other defensive pieces to make up for it and everything. He's really never gonna win an NBA title. That rinse and repeat argument we've been hearing about other players for like decades now, right? And it's just, when are we ever gonna learn, right? When are we ever going to learn that there is not one way to win titles? There is not one way that a team is going to be competing for championships. It happens in a plethora of different ways. So many different ways. And especially in sports, I'm a firm believer of just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean it can't be done. I think Jokic was a great example of this, where even though I could talk about how that playoff run was definitely weak in terms of the teams he faced, at the end of the day, he won. And a guy like Jokic, a big who can't jump a foot high, a big who's not a great defender, a big that's slow on his feet, very slow actually, was still able to overcome that. And the team he was on was able to overcome that to win a title. That right there, I guess you could say, was very humbling. And that right there really showed me where, okay, we said the same type of criticism for defense that happened with Jokic, he overcame. It's the same type of criticism for Stephen Curry for defense, he overcame. Magic Johnson coming into the league, I think they wanted David Thompson at the time when they drafted Magic, but they went with Magic instead. And one of the criticisms for that was mainly like David John. Who was the guy? There was another guy. It was Magic Johnson. It was David. Was it David Thompson? It was another player that they had. It was actually a pretty good player. I just can't remember from the 80s. But they wanted him because of the two-way ability, right? But even the Lakers was able to overcome that. Magic Johnson, I mean, even Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got criticized for not being the brand of basketball in which the way he plays, and guess what? He still won. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, all of these guys really, like Dirk Nowitzki, even a great example of this, right? So to me, at least, we have so much history to go off of the narrative, the broad narrative that so many fans, young and old alike, they go off this narrative of this guy can't win a title because of this style play. And we've seen consistently in the history of the game that narrative be broken time and time again. And the narrative of a Luka Doncic, right? Luka Doncic not being able to win a title because of his defense, it's just, I'm sorry. It's just, there's no way you can just sit here and just believe that to be true, especially when guys like Steph has won, especially when guys like Nikola Jokic has won, right? It's Luke, when you have great transcendent offensive players like that and Steph and Jokic, you can and most likely will make it work. Just because Luka's style is a bit, I guess you could say, James Harden-esque, does not mean that's going to limit him from winning a title. Let's remember, James Harden himself was competing against the Golden State Warriors, and he was losing to the Dynasty Warriors, and he actually almost beat them. He took them to Game 7, and there's still debates to this day that if CP3 didn't get hurt, they're probably winning, right? So don't give me this bull crap about Luka Doncic and his style of play, especially with this defense, that they're never going to win a championship, that the Lakers are never going to win a championship as long as he's on that team. When you have transcendent, like literally the Dallas Mavericks literally went to the finals a couple of years ago, and Luka was battling injuries in that. Luka wasn't even 100%. And that team was still competing, going to the finals. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's have some common sense. Let's really have some common sense here. Now, I could say with Luka's decision-making a bit, he getting me kind of annoyed sometimes because he'd be chucking up too many threes, you know? But as long as you have a good coach and a front office that's able to supply with talent, some defenders, bro, you're an all-time offensive player. Luka Doncic is literally one of the greatest offensive players we have ever seen, probably top 5. You have LeBron, you got Magic, I don't even know Magic in there, but okay. You got LeBron, you got Magic, you got Jokic, Steph, Luka. Who else is better than them offensively? I don't know. And when all of those guys, and those guys all right there, besides what? LeBron? Who did I say? Magic, Jokic, LeBron, Steph, Luka. Besides LeBron James, none of those guys really had two-way ability. Don't give me this stuff with Magic Johnson and two-way ability. I'm going to throw up. I really am going to throw up. Because Magic Johnson wasn't no two-way player. Magic Johnson was religiously getting switched off of PGs because they were too quick off their first step. He was getting cooked religiously. Then you couldn't put him on bigs because he was too small for him. So he's more of a floater playing the forwards, small forwards, or even the power forwards a bit. Like, we're not doing this bull crap, okay? He wasn't no two-way at all. He isn't this great defender, and he never has been in his whole entire career. So if they can make it work with Magic, they can make it work with Steph, they can make it work with Jokic, they can make it work with Luka. I mean, the Lakers right now look really good. Lakers look very, very good, and I'm actually excited for the Lakers and what they can be. Shout out to JJ Redick, because JJ Redick is actually showing to be a pretty solid coach in the league. I'm not going to be like one of the best coaches in the league, but definitely pretty solid. Just got to guess a couple more defenders. You get a couple more defenders on there, which they can. I like this team a lot, and I like what they can be. And I'm just so tired of the disrespect. I've even participated in this in years past with guys like Steph and guys like Jokic, because I was a hater. I didn't want to see those guys win. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to see Steph win. I didn't want to see Jokic win, because their Glazers get me so tight. And you could clip this too, bro. Like the Steph and Jokic Glazers got me so tight every single time, bro. It made it hard to root for him, bro. You got people like Stephen Curry when he was coming into the league, bro. They were just ready to give him the keys after him playing well for like 2 seasons. Come on, dog. What we doing? That didn't even happen with a guy like you got other guys over here going through the gauntlet, but you just ready to give the keys to Steph. I ain't like that. Then you got a guy like Jokic. The man could barely jump a foot. And you got people already calling him like the next coming of freaking Jesus Shuttlesworth or something, bro. It annoyed me. I didn't want to see him win. I just didn't. But guess what? They both proved me wrong. It is what it is. And all of that narrative stuff that I said in the past about their defense limiting them, they proved it wrong. It is what it is. Take that L on the chin. If they can prove it wrong, Luka could prove it wrong. Simple. It's so annoying when I hear these people talk about basketball, and what do they always run to? They see James Harden and it didn't work out for him, and they say, yeah, no one else can win like that. What are you talking about? James Harden literally went to Game 7 with the Dynasty KD Warriors, bro. Went to Game 7 with them. Literally, it took the Houston Rockets shooting an all-time bad, historic, missed 3-point field goals. It took that for them to lose. They didn't even get blown out that game. They lost by I think 9 points. It took them missing like 26, 33s for them to lose that game 7 without CP3, which is wild. It is wild. So don't give me that. James Harden was this close. It took an anomaly game of them missing that many threes in order for the Golden State Warriors to beat them. I'm just gonna be real with you. So just because James Harden couldn't do it, and just because he couldn't overcome that, so what? We're saying guys who play like James Harden just can't sit here and win championships. Honestly, I still believe James Harden can definitely be the best on a championship player team. I think just the era in which he played, and he just kind of got the short end of the stick. You're playing with Steph against Steph, Clay, and Dre every year, and then KD. Like, what are we doing? He ain't gonna win that. Fans of players is what's ruining the b-ball discourse. Nah. I have to disagree with it, right? I have to disagree with that because I do love the fandom of the NBA. I do love it when guys are so diehard fans off of a player that they're just going to sit here and run with whatever they can. I enjoy seeing that. I enjoy seeing that level of delusion. It's funny to me. I think it's hilarious. And I think it creates great discourse, funny discourse, and it just creates amazing vibes to me, right? You go to the barbershop, you're gonna have that old head always talking about MJ in the glory days, bro. And then he's gonna be calling how everyone's a wuss now. That joint funny to me. It's funny to me. I think it's hilarious. And you just know they delusional. Honestly, what's really ruining basketball discourse is that, especially with the content creation like taking such a big leap, it's like everyone wants to be the smartest guy in the room. And I think everyone needs to have some more humility and just come to terms with you're not. Like, more than likely, you're not the smartest person in the room. You're not the smartest person in the world. You're definitely not the smartest person to be talking about basketball, right? I think everyone's so obsessed with just, getting a point across that just sounds genius. And it's like, that's really what's ruining basketball discourse for me. I enjoy when I'm out here talking to guys and hearing them talk, some guys at my job, right? They love talking about the Mets and the Yankees. They're baseball fans, right? I don't even know what they're talking about, but the way they're getting about their fandom and their fan base and Aaron Judge and all these other guys and how bro, it's just funny to see. It's hilarious. I have no clue what they're saying. It's mad entertaining. It's so entertaining, right? And it's the same thing with basketball. I think we've lost that. Like, we've lost that. We've lost where it's okay to be a fan. That's sad. We've lost as a community. And the fun and enjoyment and entertainment of being delusional for your favorite player. Be delusional for your favorite player. Be delusional for your favorite team. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's sports. It's for fun. It's not a big deal. No one dying. You ain't going to get a PhD in NBA discourse, fam. You're not going to get a PhD, college degree, SAT identification at all, dog, for knowing the history of the NBA. People don't even know the history of basketball. They just know the history of the NBA. So it's like no one's doing that. So why are you trying so hard? I see time and time again over in the Twitter sphere, TikTok sphere, all of this, bro. Oh, and this is not even just for like NBA. It's even coming into basketball too, right? I mean, not basketball, the NFL too, where people are just so obsessed with like getting a gotcha moment, and it's the fans, it's the fan discourse, which is why I don't like talking to a lot of them. They're just so hyper for it, man. And I just can't. That's what's really ruining b-ball discourse. It's that's what's ruining b-ball discourse, and then it's also the basically, how do I say this? It has something to do with the players, right? That's what's ruining the b-ball discourse. And what also is basically honestly the treatment of players from the fan side. I'm sorry, you gotta treat the players better. And vice versa. The players gotta treat the fans better. But I can hear on the player side where, bro, I mean, they don't even get glorified for some of the things they do anymore. I think now a lot of people got used to it, and a lot of people think it's expected of them, and that's just wrong. That's just a wrong identity to have as a fan. You know, KD playing for 20 years and doing what he's doing now. You know, after 15, 16 years, you're like, all right, cool, KD. Like, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. I'm not gonna be as much of a fan for you anymore. That's just wrong. That's just a wrong mentality to have. Like guys like and that's something that in the 80s they didn't do. Like in the 80s, a guy like Dominique got praised, and he still gets praised to this day for being who he was, right? And he was losing all the time, doing the same things. You feel me? Now it's like people just expect these players to be like that, and now they kind of lost that respect of, yo, you're really a great player in this league. You're really doing something no one else can do. And you know what? It's just mad respect for you and your skills, right? It's sad. It's sad. And maybe that's diluted because of like social media. You know, you got street ball that came out. You know, basketball has been it's just exploded, especially since the 90s, that, you know, it's just so much talent to see now on all levels. It's insane, actually. So maybe it kind of like kills the perception of it because of how good we see how players they can be, but it's not right. It's not right to be doing that. You feel me? It's just not. So I do believe that the treatment of players from the fans also contributes to, you know, just ruining basketball discourse in general. Basketball discourse and just basketball in general. Like, make it great to be. Let's make America. Yeah, MAGA, right? Make America great again. I'm trying to think of a one-liner here. I'm trying to make America great again. Make fandom okay again. There we go. I like that one. Make fandom okay again, bro. No, MFOG. Yeah, I like that one. Maybe I'll think of a different one later. But make fandom okay again. Make it fun. Make it okay for people to glaze their favorite players, bro. Who cares? Who cares? It's not that big of a deal. You feel me? And listen, I think when people have that mentality, I think you're going to see a lot of things turning around for the NBA community in general. Honestly, I wholeheartely believe that. I want to talk about Cleveland right now, right? Because Cleveland is going through a weird stretch. Now, I'm kind of like, you know, how do I say this? I'm definitely like kind of like high off of ego right now for a little bit, because I have been saying that the person who's going to come out the East are the Knicks. I just like what the Knicks are doing. I think they're probably the best team in the East. And I just don't see really anyone else beating them. So my Knicks take on them making it out the East is looking immaculate here. I'm not going to hold you. But I do want to talk about Cleveland because they've been on some weird stretch lately. And they started out the season very good. But for the last, 12 games, it's just been very up and down. I mean, you're losing to Atlanta, right? That's unacceptable. You're losing to Portland. I think that's unacceptable for you as well. Losing to Houston, I could kind of bypass, right? But losing to teams like that, and I think they lost to the Golden State Warriors without Steph. Losing to the Golden State Warriors without Steph, Draymond Green, and who's the other one? Draymond Green. Oh, and Jimmy Butler. They didn't even play. What's going on in Cleveland? Why is it like this? Evan Mobley over here is looking like a shell of himself. A shell of himself of what he was doing last year. It's sad to see because I think everyone was expecting the progression of Evan Mobley. Everyone was expecting, especially with his offense and how it looked last year, it seemed like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we're going to continue to see this. And Evan Mobley right now, I mean, I guess that 37% from three last year, really getting him hyped up because he's taking 4 threes a game, but now he's 35% on 50% from the field. At the end of the day, Evan Mobley, I'm gonna be honest, like I think he could be a decent shooter, but I'm not looking at him to be shooting no 4 threes a game. I'm just not. That's just not my cup of tea. Darius Garland coming back from injury. It seems like he's still trying to find his mix in the game. Like bro. Yo, it's been terrible. He's shooting 35% from the field. 35 and 26 from three. Now, he's only played 10 games, so I think he still needs to work himself into it, right? So I still think there's hope for improvement from Darius Garland's side. But the main person I feel bad for right now is Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is playing some of the best basketball I've seen him play his whole entire career. Donovan Mitchell is hooping right now. Honestly, if the Cavs had a better record, what's it called? If the Cavs had a better record, like Donovan Mitchell should be in talks of like MVP candidate. The man's dropping 30 on like 50, 40, like 85, which is crazy. So he's doing it on amazing splits. Amazing splits. I don't know this true shooting. I'm not going to look into the true shooting, but especially with Darius Garland being out, him being, he's a hybrid. Like Donovan Mitchell's kind of weird, where it's like Donovan Mitchell is really like a combo guard. Like he's strictly a combo guard where, yeah, he can be a PG, but he can't be a PG for the whole game. He just can't. He's definitely more of a shooting guard, and then I can run point type of player. That's type of shooting guard. Like that's who he is, and that's his style. I love it. But Donovan Mitchell's playing some of the best basketball he's ever played in his career, and the team is now going through a slump like this, right? It's sad to see. It's really sad to see, and I really feel bad for him. Like, dog, I'm a Donovan Mitchell fan. I don't know if you guys know this, right? But I'm a big Donovan Mitchell fan. So I think he's definitely playing at like a top 10 level. And Mobley just got out, right? Mobley's still a good defender. Mobley's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm very worried about Cleveland and where they're going to be and how they're going to look. Like you got Detroit over here. They're 20-5. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people expected Cleveland to be 20-5, not the other way around. But we got Detroit 20-5 and you over here flirting with 15-11. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable losing to the team like the Golden State Warriors without their dogs, right? And it seems like it's like at the end of the game, it's just slipping. At the end of the game, and this is where I guess you could put on Donovan Mitchell because some of his decision making kind of gets iffy, but he also hits some big shots at the end too. But you got to be able to close these games out. You got to be able to close these games out. Especially with how great you guys looked last year. You got a guy like DeAndre Hunter. You got Evan Mobley. You got Jared Allen. Darius Garland's just coming back into the fray. Come on. You picked up Lonzo Ball, but Lonzo Ball hasn't been that great. Just going to be honest with you. But Cleveland is in trouble. I'm definitely worried about them. And it's very sad that they're in trouble like this because Donovan Mitchell is literally playing some of the greatest basketball he played. And you know what? Since I'm on the topic of Donovan Mitchell, right? I am so happy. No. Let me choose my words carefully, right? Okay. Let me think. I got it. But Donovan Mitchell what's so annoying? Like with the fans, and this goes back to the point I said earlier about the fandom. Like Donovan Mitchell last season, I heard so much talks about Donovan Mitchell last season about, he's regressed. He's not what he used to be. Yada yada yada. He's only putting. Let's see what he was putting up because that's the main reason I was saying this bull crap, bro. It's just so annoying. Just nonsense. It was like he's only putting up 24 a game and everything. Like, is he even the best player on his team? Is it Evan Mobley? Is it Darius Garland? I'm just so happy that he's putting all of that he's putting that to a stop. That's dead. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I won't hear nothing about Evan Mobley, Darius Garland possibly being the best person on the team. I could care less about any of that, right? Donovan Mitchell in the role he played last year, right? He had a down year, especially shooting-wise. would have to admit and concede to that. But just because someone's adjusting to how good this team is playing with a new coach and how they're kind of putting the things together, just because he's adjusting to that does not mean he lost his place or lost the talent that he still had. Donovan Mitchell last year was still the best player on the crew. No matter what, he still was. And he was still, what I believe, a top 15 player in the league. Just because he's taking a back seat and just because he's over here adjusting to this new role and this new system with Cleveland, right, does not negate the fact that he's still on that level. Now, this season, right, bro, the man's dropping 31, 50, and on 40, dog. He's dropping 31 on 50% from the field, 39 from three, and 85 from the free throw line, bro. And y'all really was over here trying to preach that he wasn't the best player or he wasn't what he used to be. He's regressing. Man, this is shame on y'all, bro. Like, guys in their prime, can we make this, like, normalize this? Like, guys in their prime in any sport, they can be subject to down seasons as well. I will die on that hill. They more are capable of having a down year. Did the same thing with Luka, did the same thing with D-Mitch, and now they shutting all of y'all up. Cut that out. And that's the basketball discourse I'm talking about. What is crazy how everything's running a full circle, right? That's crazy. I didn't even mean for it to run a full circle, but it's running a full circle. They did it with Luka last year. They did it with D-Mitch last year, and now look at them. Now they all look stupid. Guys in their prime, even though they're in their prime, they more than likely are at this level consistently. They could have a down year, right? But that does not take away from them still being on this level and still being capable of a player at this level. You feel me? So let's stop this up and down recency bias over here. I just want to make sure I'm right. You know, look what the stats are saying and everything. No, I'm good off that, bro. Donovan Mitchell was here. He had a year where he was here. But he's really showing y'all he's still there, bro. When we should really be worried about players falling off and having down seasons when they turn like 34 or 35, right? That's where I can have an understanding. But we talking about a guy like 28? Come on, dog. Let's use our heads. Let's use our heads here, man. Use our heads, man. So listen, shout out to y'all. Shout out, like the video, subscribe, man. Shout out to Kretschman Media, man. And okay. And you know what? Listen, man, that just got me hot. That just got me hot again. I'm not going to hold you. That really got me hot. But listen, enjoy y'all week. Enjoy y'all time. Have a great weekend, man. I'll see y'all again soon, bro. Peace.
This pain inside.